Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in, everybody. Put me down here a little bit so you can see my banner. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful day, spending time with family or friends or doing whatever you want to do. It's your day, you know? Well, it's not your day. It's Jesus' day, but it's our day too. He's letting us have it. So welcome in, everybody. It's good to see everyone. Hopefully, like I said, you guys had a good, I almost said Thanksgiving. Easter, we do not want to be back in November. I don't know what I was thinking. But if you're new to the channel, I'm Tanya or TitaniumBuilt, and we do talk all things true crime here. So if that's something that you're into, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you guys don't mind, and smash that like button, which you guys never fail to do that. When I came into the live, I forget how many people were in here. 20 something, 30 something. And it was like the same amount of people was the same amount of likes. And that makes me excited. So we are going to be talking about Caleb Harris tonight. I'll go ahead and put his picture up here. We talked about him on the live last night and we discussed, we had another live on him. And then there's just like really no news, it seemed like. And now there's just a ton of people following it. And, a ton of people are going to be following it some more. So it's good because missing persons case. But let me say hi to you guys. I didn't even say hi. Sometimes I forget to say hi to my people. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Mary Beth. Hopefully you guys all had a great, I almost said Thanksgiving, Easter. Hey, Brian. Oh, thank you. The nicest woman on the internet. I don't know about that. I try. Hey, Jan. Happy Easter. I'm going to say Thanksgiving all night. What the heck? Hey, Ladybug. Randy's in here. CJK. I saw that, Bren. Man, I feel like I might know who it is, but it's someone I don't watch. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah. They should be treated the same. Hey, Mike. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, Kaylee. It's just weird, people don't treat everybody the same, and they should. If one's wrong for one, one's wrong for one, one's right for one, one's right for one. Did I say hi to you, Mike? I think I did. Hey, Amy. Unspoken heart. Stillness. Okay. I was making sure I got that one right. Oh, beautiful picture. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see what we got tonight. Well, welcome in, everybody. Cat's Life's here. ALR, Kathleen. Man, we got the whole crew. Tonight. Well, it's good to see everybody. I didn't know if anyone, hello, Lenora. I didn't know if anyone would be on tonight because, it's, if I say Thanksgiving one more time, y'all, someone come through the computer and get me. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Amy. I think I said maybe hi, but I'm not sure. So we're going to say it again. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Steve. Welcome in. And HGG. Happy Easter. So I think we got everyone. Jesus loves me here. We got most of you if we didn't get all. And yell at me if we didn't get you. I actually just took his missing person flyer down on accident. So we're going to be discussing Caleb Harris tonight, like I said. We've been trying to keep up on his case here on the channel. He is a missing A&M student, went missing on March 4th from his home in Corpus Christi, Texas. He literally was seen on Ring doorbell surveillance, taking his dog out. And last night we were going through the timeline that I made, and it was, I couldn't remember if it was his roommate and his dog or if it was a roommate's girlfriend because I had read both, but it is him and his roommate's dog. Cute little fuzzy dog too. Little fluffy dog for two guys. It's pretty cute. Hey, Joanne, happy Easter. So yeah, just very fluffy, cute dog. We'll see it in one of the videos. We'll watch the Ring camera video tonight. Again, it's only like a minute long. So it'll give you guys the last, time that anyone saw him on surveillance that we know of right now. They do have him, I believe, one other time. No, actually they don't. This is the only time they have him. Now, I don't know why, or if the police are just keeping it like secretive, but they have him on doorbell camera outside of his home, coming to his house, but wouldn't they have him going back out if he left again? And I haven't seen that. So if you have seen that somewhere on the interwebs, let me know. But like I said, he's 21. He has brown hair, brown eyes. He's 5'11", 180 pounds, comes from the sweetest of sweetest families. These people they're going to melt your heart when you see this interview. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. But I am going to read, instead of doing, I had a timeline that I made for you guys. We're just going to go through the Harris County update, or I'm sorry, Caleb Harris update. Caleb Harris update. And it's from the Corpus Christi police here. I think I was thinking of the county. So they finally put out a news release over this. They haven't really been saying too much. I've been looking on their Facebook and stuff like that. And they had like one picture of them and then like another little post. And then this post was the biggest one that I've seen so far up until last night when they finally did a press interview. And it was one-on-one. One of the, I guess probably head sheriff was talking to a news anchor. So yeah, so we'll get right into this. So this is going to be all the facts of the case as we know them today. Let's see if I can make it. I don't know if I can make it any bigger. I always feel like you guys can't see it, but I think you can. Oops. Well, yeah, it's not letting me. Well, that's no fun. Okay. Let me grab my glasses as we're getting into things. And I appreciate that, you guys are all here. And did the Easter Bunny come? Don't forget to tell me if the Easter Bunny came. Let me know what you ate. What'd you eat for Easter? We had steak. So random. This is the first Easter that I haven't had plans to do anything in my whole 38 years of living. So is Atticus your cat, Ashley? And if it is, that's hilarious. Or is that your nephew? Because I know you have a nephew too. Let me know. Happy Easter, Ashley. Hey, DM, happy Easter. Because I saw you put it in the chat last night, and I'm like, and am I saying it right, Atticus? Went to church, and then I was eating. Oh, that's awesome. Where'd you go? Your nephew. Okay. Because didn't you say you took your cat everywhere with you? So I didn't know, Ashley. I didn't know if you were bathing your nephew or your cat. I mean, because I could see you, Ashley, bathing your cat. I could see you bathing a cat, definitely. And the cat loving it. So here it says, and if you're not really familiar with this case, like I said, it literally is, this 21-year-old student goes out. He has some roommates. They go outside. They take the dog to the bathroom. They come back in. His roommates are like, we're going to go to bed for the evening. He's like, cool. He's used to staying up late because he works at a movie theater. So he stays up later. He orders Uber Eats. And before the Uber Eats gets there, well, we don't know, but I'm assuming he's gone. He just disappears. Poof. No shoes, just like Sebastian. No shoes on. Just walking around barefoot. I do have Google Maps, and I pinned each spot that he was at. And for him not having shoes on, he was walking around a little bit. So I'm not sure if that's just a thing that they do. But I mean, not me. He had Chinese food. That sounds good. Homemade pizza, boneless leg of lamb. Oh, Lenore, that sounds good. Turkey, mashed potatoes, cream, gravy, and salad. And just all ladybug. That sounds good. Lasagna, Kelly, that sounds good. It's my favorite. Steak too. Oh, Amy. Well, you got us. You got us. That's why I come on to you sometimes. I don't want anyone to be alone on any holiday. It's me. That's just me. Plus, Vincent's on the computer anyway. He's just doing his thing out there. But this is the first year that I didn't do anything, which was, it's very, very weird kind of. But at the same time, extremely relaxing. Hey, Mary Beth. Or did I say hi to Mary Beth? Hey, Janet. And Kelly. Did I say hi to Kelly? Hey, everybody. Sometimes I just want to say hi again. So this is going to give us all the details. And then we'll watch the Nancy Grace episode that she came out with as well. As the search entered its third week, Corpus Christi Police Department detectives, along with their federal and state partners, continue to work fervently behind the scenes to solve the disappearance of 21-year-old Texas A&M Corpus Christi student Caleb Harris. And they have now called in all of the big wigs, all of the big agencies are now working this case. So they had the Texas Rangers, FBI, state police, local police. They're working hard. After having reviewed Harris's roommates' friends and family, as well as having reviewed hours of surveillance camera footage, detectives have established a timeline for the night Harris disappeared. Detectives have learned that Harris spent the evening hours of Sunday, March 3rd, inside his off-campus apartment on the 1900 block of Ennis Jocelyn Road, along with his 2 roommates and a mutual friend. Harris and his friend played video games online for over an hour with another former high school classmate currently residing in Colorado. At approximately 12:56 a.m. on Monday, March 4th, a doorbell camera at a nearby apartment captures Harris, his friends, and one of Harris's roommates in the parking lot playing with the puppy. See this as belonging to one of the girlfriends of Harris's roommates. Now, I'm going to go with this because they kept switching it around on us, y'all. So first they were saying the dog belonged to, Caleb and a roommate. And then last night when I was putting together the timeline, I kept seeing girlfriend of the roommate. And so I'm like, because it's like a little fluffy white dog. I don't know. It just doesn't look like a dog that they would, like 3 men or 3 guys would have. I don't know. You never know that I've seen men with little dogs before, big guys with little dogs. It's cute. Now I don't even know what to say. What was I saying? Oh, but it is. So it's the girlfriend of one of Harris's roommates. And as we're on that part right now, I'll just go ahead and I'll play this quick video because it just shows them just what I said. It just shows them going outside with the puppy, and you'll see him you'll see Caleb. He looks like right at the doorbell camera. I don't think that he knows it's there really, but he's kind of smiling a little bit. It looks like he's having a great night. Let me see if I can fast forward this to the part, because I'll just be talking. And it's pretty short too, so.
So take a look here. Caleb can be seen in the parking lot at his off-campus apartment complex off of Ennis Jocelyn around 1 a.m. He was with one of his roommates, a friend, outside playing with a dog. Caleb's face visible as he looked toward the Ring camera before they make their way back in the other direction on that night in
cute early kid. March. Look at that little dog.
And the search for Caleb Harris now in its 3rd week. Just yesterday, his parents off.
It'll be 4 weeks, in a few days, 4 days, 5 days. It'll be a month. It's incredible. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, Ashley. So is it his kid that you're taking care of? The blue light, let me see. In this? Oopsie. Oh, I don't know. This was taken approximately 2.5 hours before he was last seen. Oh wait, this is approximately 1 a.m. I thought that yeah, 1 a.m. So I was just making sure it matched up with the police because sometimes those cameras aren't programmed right. So yeah, 1 o'clock, and then he was last seen, I think, around like 2:20, 2:45, 2:45, I believe. So it says at approximately, we're at the part, the 12:56, Monday, March 4th, a doorbell camera at a nearby apartment complex, or I'm sorry, a nearby apartment. Let me make sure this is like paused. Okay. Sometimes it'll play in the background. Let me see where we're at. Okay. As it says, I'm just going to read from here. At approximately 12:56 a.m. on Monday, March 4th, a doorbell camera at a nearby apartment captures Harris, his friend, and one of Harris's roommates in the parking lot playing with a puppy belonging to the girlfriend of one of Harris's roommates. Now, I wonder where the girlfriend was. Like maybe she was inside, just he's like, I'll take the dog out for you. Or maybe she was at work still. Maybe she worked nights. Maybe she just wasn't there. Nothing appeared out of the ordinary, and the 3 young men returned to Harris's apartment. Their mutual friend departed shortly after. So they saw the friend leave. So I'm wondering, and they saw the Uber Eats person drop the food off. So it's crazy. I wonder if it captured anything with Caleb leaving, what he was doing, things of that nature. It says the second, after approximately 2:20, the second of Harris's 2 roommates informs Harris that he, the roommate, is going to bed. Harris replies that he is going to stay up to order snacks via Uber Eats for his school lunch later that day. That was Monday. At approximately 2:44 a.m., Harris shares a Snapchat video with his younger sister that depicts Harris walking a puppy through what appears to be the apartment complex parking lot. So an hour and 44 minutes after they take the dog out, he's already back out with the dog. Now, I wonder if this is a puppy or if this is like, a little bit of an older dog, like puppy. I mean, I know puppies are usually like the first year and a half, but this dog looks a little bit older. Maybe it's just me. I mean, for him to be taking it out every hour and a half, I usually take mine out every 2 hours though. So a little over 2, and they're older, so they can hold it usually. But yeah, I mean, he took the dog out again, like an hour and 44 minutes later. So then he shares a Snapchat video with his younger sister, that depicts him walking through the parking lot with the puppy. At approximately 3:03 a.m., Harris sent another Snapchat photo to a high school friend currently residing in San Antonio. The photo depicted a small bridge over a drainage ditch on the 1900 block of Ennis Jocelyn within a few hundred feet of the entrance to his apartment complex. And I should be showing you actually like maybe this while I'm talking about this stuff. So that way you can see. Maybe this will help because I kind of have it marked a little bit. So that might help with the visual. Okay, so I'm just going to go from here. At approximately 3:03. So the first Snapchat video he sent was at his apartment. I should have marked that one. I didn't. Let me zoom in for a little bit more. So his apartment is right here. And then this is just like where you go into the Cottages of Corpus Christi. And then his phone sent the last Snapchat around this drainage area right through here. I believe he was like standing in this area, like the grassy area right here. And he took a picture. And I wonder if I can actually. I should have had that pulled up for you guys. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. So it's like right there where the grassy area is. So that's where he took a picture. Just a very random place to take a picture. Very, very random. And then I think that's all I really needed to show you from that. I just figured I would show you that while I was talking. So then at approximately 3:12 a.m., Harris's cell phone last shared location data with the nearest cell phone tower. And that's the one that was like kind of far out. But I think it's just because that's just where the phone tower is. I don't think he was that far out, in my opinion. But I think that's just where it was just the closest tower. At approximately 3:20 a.m., the Uber Eats driver delivers Harris's order to his apartment, leaving it outside near the front door per the order request. Now, I've heard, I'm sorry, I've heard some people come forward that say like they've worked for DoorDash or Uber Eats or something along those lines, and they say that sometimes people will, like guys, if they know it's a girl coming or, in that area, they will meet them at like the front of the apartment complex. That way they don't get confused on, the numbers of the houses and they're not just like driving around aimlessly. So people were saying like maybe that's what he was doing at the time. But the only problem I have with that is he would have known when she was going to be pulling it. He would have had to tell her like, hey, I'll meet you in the front. And I don't know if you can even do that on the app. Like if you can, you could probably put in special instructions, but I don't know if you could go back in and do it later. Also, he would see on the map where the Uber Eats driver was located. Like it shows you a map, like, where their little car is and it's driving down the road. And so I would assume that he would, if he was going to meet somebody out there, he would have done it closer to the time that they were supposed to be there. Okay, I thought I had my necklace on backwards, but so she and it was a girl, so she left the food outside near the front door. And she probably took a little picture of it and she left. And this is currently the best timeline investigators have been able to compile working with the existing available data. But this is an evolving investigation and is subject to change as more data and information is acquired. So this will be their, the rest of their timeline. So at around 11 a.m. the next morning, or that morning, Monday morning, one of Caleb's roommates discovered the Uber Eats order outside the front door and Harris's pickup truck parked in front of the apartment. Caleb's wallet and keys were left behind in the apartment, and all that appeared to be missing was Harris and his cell phone. Caleb's roommates, who described him as a homebody and a creature of habit, immediately became alarmed by Caleb's absence. After searching for Caleb by themselves for a short time, the roommates called the CCPD to report Harris missing. Now, they didn't mess around. They didn't waste no time. I guess I would love to have roommates like that. One of the roommates was probably leaving to go to class, and they had talked to him the night before about the Uber Eats. They see the food. They look up, they see his truck. Maybe that he was supposed to be in class already at that time. And they're like, well, why is this truck here? What's going on? And then they went back in, maybe knocked on his door, checked his room, didn't see him in there, maybe saw his keys and wallet sitting there. And they just kind of was like, uh-oh, something's up, Hey, Squeaky. Hey, V-Math. Hey, Siggy. If I missed you, sorry. Hey, Positive Vibes. When I'm on the reading, it's hard to see the chat. Oh, Ashley, don't feel that way. Become a YouTube creator. It'll make you feel better. You'll be like, oh, I'd rather just not do it at all. No, I'm just kidding. I love being a creator. But I'm just saying this, the money ain't the greatest. I feel like, that you, I think that you are a great worker, Ashley, from everything I've seen and heard about you. And I'm surprised that you'll get hired somewhere quick. The initial responding officer, after having obtained the information from the roommates, wonder if that's out. Let me see something. Let me just write that down. I wonder if that 911 or the initial responding officer's report is out. Because they usually will release that, like the initial report. So maybe I can find that. And if not, maybe I can get it. Just FOIA it. So they obtained information from the roommates, immediately checked all local hospitals for any unidentified patients matching Caleb's description. None were found. A preliminary search of the apartment complex and the immediate area surrounding it revealed no signs of a struggle or violence, nor any indication of a hit-and-run accident on the roads nearby. So that was another thing people were saying, like hit and run. If he wasn't on the street, like physically out on that road. Okay, let me get back here. So he lives here. Okay. He would literally have to be like out in the middle of the road. What would make him go out in the middle of the road? Nothing. When there's a sidewalk right there. I don't see that. And plus there would be damage. There would be like a headlight broken, maybe some pieces on the ground, something off a fender. There would be bodily fluids maybe from, being struck. Now, if he was struck inside the apartment complex, there's just no way. It would it would hurt him, but I don't think it would unalive him. It's not like you can go pretty quick in there. You've got that turn, if he was closer to his apartment. But let me know what you guys think happened as I'm reading through, because, this is a crazy one. Hey, Otto. So let me go back to the article. So it says here that the officers then ensured that Harris was entered into the National Computer Database as a missing person. Detectives from the Criminal Investigation Division were then called to the scene while an intensive and large-scale search of the surrounding area was organized and conducted. Now, I'm wondering why they started on this case just like that. Had people out there looking that day when you hear of other cases and they're like, wait 24 hours. Even though they tell you not to wait 24 hours, they'll be like, oh, they're a missing adult. Just give it a little more time. You know, I mean, that's great that they didn't, but I'm just kind of surprised. That's really great that they didn't, though. Detectives searched Caleb's apartment and found no evidence of a struggle, violent act, or any signs that the apartment had been recently deep cleaned. Firearms and fishing gear, including waders that belonged to Caleb, were found in the apartment. Because he was talking about going fishing the next day, but his dad came out and said that he knew not to go fishing by himself, like at night especially. So they kind of said that they don't think that could be it. A laptop belonging to Caleb was collected and has been turned over to forensic computer examiners within CCPD's organized crime unit for examination and analysis. Caleb's roommates, friends, and family members have been extremely cooperative and investigators since the onset of this investigation. Detectives, through a variety of investigative techniques, have completely excluded them as having anything to do with Caleb's disappearance. So, Caleb's roommates, friends, and family members have all been ruled out. They've been working hard, apparently. I mean, to go through all the friends. Detectives have also identified and interviewed the Uber Eats driver who delivered Caleb's order that evening. The 31-year-old woman told detectives that she was driving alone that night and did not see Caleb or anyone else at or near the apartment complex. Detectives confirmed that she was alone by reviewing surveillance video from the convenience store where she picked up Caleb's order. So she has also been eliminated as a suspect in Harris's disappearance. Hold on a second. So it says that they confirmed she was alone by reviewing surveillance video. I mean, she could have been alone then, but what if she picked someone up from the convenience store to his house? I don't get that part. I swear they have to have her on that Ring camera outside. If they have them coming on the Ring camera, you would think they would have her. She's also been eliminated. Investigators have scoured the surrounding area of Caleb's last known location for surveillance video, checking well over 50 businesses and private residents. Thus far, investigators have retrieved video from 27 different locations, including city-owned traffic cameras, but continue to search for additional sources. Detectives have written 16 electronic search warrants, submitted over 70 preservation requests, and issued 14 subpoenas for electronic data related to this investigation. They ain't messing around. I have questions. Says, oh, I missed it. If it's my investigation, I'm looking for exes. I'm going all the way back to middle school. Yeah, I'm just like, man, I'm like, they really went through the friends quick, didn't they? I mean, because he would have some friends. And I don't know why this looks like it's like over to the side. Maybe if I, move me down here. Oh, that ain't making no dang difference. I just took the article off. Okay, JK, we're just going to do it like we were. Maybe like, that's a little bit too much. Okay, sorry about that. I probably just made y'all dizzy. So the forensic computer examiners have already reviewed over 600 gigabytes of electronic data and continue to pore over data as it arrives on almost daily basis. The investigative team formed during the first days of the search continues to meet daily to share information from the previous day's efforts, discuss possible leads, and plot the course of the investigation. The team consists of investigators from the police department's Criminal Investigation Division and Organized Crime Unit, the FBI, the Texas Rangers, and the United States Marshal Service, along with 3 forensic computer examiners and 1 civilian crime analyst. Detectives have reviewed and followed up, where appropriate, on 14 Crime Stopper tips, 31 tip line tips, and several others from various sources. Man, that doesn't really sound like a lot. 14 Crime Stopper tips? I mean, I guess because it was so late. 3 a.m, you know? Yeah, design rhythm. Yeah, there's like little. In this case, it's like, what's going on? I think I have a banner. I should have put that on there. I'm sorry, hold on a second. I don't know what I just did. There we go. And then, okay. I was going to try to put something in the chat, but I'll do it in a minute. Okay, so let's go back over here Just if you have any information regarding the disappearance of Caleb Harris, please contact Corpus Christi Police Department. And this is their phone number, 361-826-2840. And the number again is 361-826-2840. Or you can submit an anonymous tip at Crime Stoppers 1-888-TIPS. That's 1-888-8477. And I do have it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. And I was going to put something up here. I really hate that. I have like a million things. If you guys are enjoying the content and you would love to join our channel membership, we would love to have you. I'm going to put it in the chat. We'd love to have you here. We're a great fam. We're good people. So this next video that I want to show you, it's Caleb's parents. They came out and they've done a couple interviews. They've done like a couple with News Nation, I know. This one is, I believe, from Fox. They've even done a couple TikTok interviews. I don't know if you've seen his parents. Beyond the nicest. I mean, they're just the nicest. Like, we have cases where, they're great parents, but I feel for these guys so bad. On one of the TikToks, it was like, oops, there goes the president talking. On one of the TikToks, they were just, I'll show you, see if it was today. I'll show it to you guys. They were just praising the Lord for today and telling everybody just to go to church and pray for them. It was so sad. It was really sad. So I'm going to go ahead and play this here. This is the parents of, missing 21-year-old Caleb Harris, if you're just now joining us. This interview is from a little while back. I wanted to get one of their first interviews. So, and then I got one from today. So this is from March 11th, 2024. And you can tell they're determined. They're just determined, I feel like. So let's go ahead and play this. If you guys don't mind just taking a second, hit the like button, all that good stuff that we tell you to do here. We love Steve. And we love Ashley. We love everybody. Love y'all. You guys are the greatest.
Roommate got a new dog. And so
now he's saying roommate got a new dog. I don't know. Someone got a new dog. I got a new dog.
From say 10 on, they were playing with the dog. And, we do have some video of them playing with the dog because they sent us video of the dog, sent us pictures of the dog. My son was also a big fisherman, so we'd always swap, fishing ideas and different lures to use. And he was preparing the next afternoon. He had ordered from a convenience store his lunch for the next day, which is very normal. Very normal. He's a creature of habit, very normal for him to do that. We got some different chats and Snapchats and stuff. All about 2:58 is when his phone either was turned off or quit working. But he had taken the dog out for a walk and was waiting for his Uber Eats to show up at the front door and put the dog back in. And then, we just didn't see him. I mean, the biggest thing is that he was preparing for school, preparing for fishing, preparing, new lease on his apartment, all kinds of things that he's, getting ready to do, going to Alaska this summer to work. Just a lot of preparedness, he was doing.
It almost sounds like they're trying to say there's no way he did something to himself. It's sad.
And
like he was planning.
Led up to that. It's like any other
college. Thanks for being a member for so long. Love you, girl.
It's real close to the school.
Thank you.
Not a school complex, but most of the residents are kids, and even within across the street and around his apartment are kids that he knows or either grew up on. He kind of vanished. There's no evidence of wrongdoing, but there's no evidence at all. And so it's a matter of looking at every inch, everything we could possibly think of that the police are thinking of. And, we're constantly getting texts that we forward. And so there's a lot of things that we're doing in the background to come up with some clues or some evidence or something that we can grab and go. It is a mystery. And,
But we know that God knows exactly where he is,
Yeah.
and that he is, we were hoping that he is crying out to him and is recalling scripture and has a hedge of protection around him wherever he is. And it will be revealed to us exactly where he is. And he'll
Thank
be
goodness for
home
their
safe.
faith.
I had just seen him that Friday and Saturday before. And he invited me down to go hang out at his fun spots. And so he took me to different places along the beach. He likes to fish and he likes to be with people and that kind of thing. And so we just, he's fun loving. He is joyful, and he's a very likable person. And so he was certainly fun to be around for a mom.
A lot of character, very, would help anybody with anything they needed. He's very, loves the outdoors, loves to hunt and fish, and play his guitar, and good kid, great kid.
Mhm.
The Corpus Christi Police Department is doing a phenomenal job. Lots of intervention. They're letting us know what's going on. They're doing a lot of things behind the scenes that they're just doing a great job, and they're trying their best to progress whatever level they possibly can, and we really do appreciate them. And the biggest thing is that we've got so much support worldwide and
Mhm.
prayers, and
The outpouring of support that we have from the community of people that we are involved in right now. But then not only that, but just, the community worldwide that are people of faith that believe in Jesus and are praying for him is overwhelming and comforting at the same time.
the family of Corpus Christi is amazing. We're thankful for all of their support and continued support. We know he's out there, and we're looking forward to seeing him again. And he needs to know, if he happens to see this, that we love him, and he's not in trouble. Police are not after him. Nobody's after him. And no matter what happens, we love him. We want him to be here, ready to go fishing.
We want him home. We want him secure. If you see something, say something.
Bless them.
Report it, so that, because it's a parent's worst nightmare. And so it's difficult, and there are ups and downs, but we really remain hopeful that he is found and that he will be at home and safe.
That's terrible. I couldn't do it. I don't know how these parents of missing children. I mean, he's 21. He's still a child to me. I said that about the Idaho 4, they were 21, 20, 21. Still kids. They're still kids. I mean, no matter how old, if your parents are alive, you're still their baby. And they're always going to fight for you. But these people are they have like their religion to go back on. That you can just tell that that's what's keeping them going. And it's incredible to see that, that they have that. Because some, I mean, if you believe, you believe, but that's what's kind of getting them through right now. And bless them for that. So I wanted to show you one more little TikTok that they did. I thought I had it up. I think it might be. It's not this one. I thought I had it. I might have took it off of here. I don't know if it'll come back up. I'll see if I can find it. If not, it'll be okay. It was just his parents just saying that, they're hoping for a Christmas miracle. Now I'm saying Christmas. Easter. What is going on with me tonight? I don't want it to be Easter today. Apparently, I just don't, because I've said Thanksgiving like 4 times. Christmas now. Wait, I'll be saying, something random. I'll be saying it's my birthday here before too long. My birthday's in October. So I don't know if you guys remember on the live last night, Caleb's parents put out a $25,000 reward for his safe return. And they said by March 31st, this is the last day for someone to come forward before the reward is kind of like taken off the table. Now, nobody's called so far that we know of. We would find out pretty quick, I think. So I don't know. Do you think I think that they may keep the reward going? I don't know what they would do with it. Like, I mean, I know that that's a lot of money and they probably don't have that money at all to be throwing out, but maybe they'll put up some billboards. I don't know. Maybe take the reward down to like 15,000, put up some billboards. I'm not sure how much billboards cost, but I'm pretty sure they're probably pretty expensive. I know to get signs like at the mall that hang, it's like $1,800 for 3. So it's pretty expensive to get stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and play this because it's just going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the case. It's just a couple minutes long, and then we'll get on to Nancy. Let me turn her up.
Is drawing near for the reward for anyone with information on the whereabouts.
It's kind of low, sorry.
To come forward. A month has nearly passed and still no word on where the missing A&M Corpus Christi student is.
Our Bill Churchwell was out with a small number of searchers today. He joins us now live from outside police headquarters downtown. Bill?
And at this point, we are waiting to hear more information on the police investigation itself. But earlier this afternoon, I caught up with a handful of volunteers who were doing their part to help out. It's been 23 days of searching, 23 days of not losing faith that Caleb Harris will be found. Now, the area the group concentrated on was right at the lip of the Oso Bay at the bridge before you get to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. The volunteers tell me they've been doing a lot of individual searching on their own the last couple of weeks, going through some pretty difficult spots along the water, through the mud and the thick brush. And while there has been a vast focus on land, many bodies of water have also been searched. I spoke with one volunteer who would like to see even more people coming out to help.
As a mother, it's heartbreaking. It's almost been a month, and
look at that behind her.
Calls, no leads. So we gotta help.
Does anyone know I wonder if there's any homeless camps? I feel like there's another case and they were talking about homeless camps. So I'm thinking it might have been this one.
Help out. Families
just like right Strand.
Braunfels, so them coming here, it's like they wouldn't even know where to begin, where to start. So, they're relying on us as residents of this county. We need to step up. Everybody who needs to help, wants to help, come out and help.
Now, during that search,
I would be terrified looking through that
camp in the brush, but there was no one around. Volunteers are asking the community for any ideas on where they should search next. Now, there is a reward being offered. It's $25,000, but there is also a time limit associated with that. Any information has to come in by the 31st, March 31st. That's less than a week left. It's actually on Sunday. The number to call is 361-826-2950. Now, we have reached out to CCPD the past couple of days for an update, maybe an interview on this investigation, but they have been unavailable for comment. Reporting live tonight from CCPD headquarters, I'm Bill Churchwell. Now back.
They ended up giving them, not him, I don't think it was this news agency, but they ended up giving one of the news agencies an interview. So the investigators came forward. It was one of the head investigators, and he said that the roommates were cleared, the DoorDash or the Uber Eats person was cleared, the friend that was there, was cleared. Anybody like in his I guess immediate inner circle has been cleared. Now his like I showed you on this map, his phone sent that last Snapchat around that, right around that bridge. And then his phone pinged down through here, but that's because they're saying, the investigators are saying that was the closest cell phone tower for it to ping to. And then he lives here. And then this is just the entrance to get into his area. And then he took the picture down here by the reservoir, like this little area. Now, if he would have fell into that, it was like nothing. There's no water really in there. I mean, there's enough to drown. I mean, you could drown in I don't know, small amount, they say. Isn't it like a tablespoon or something like that? I don't know. It's something weird that you can drown in. But I don't believe that would have been the case. I just don't see it. So let's move over here to Nancy. Let's see what she has to say about all this. So let's see here. And I'm just wondering what happened. I'm very curious to know what happened to him. I mean, it had to have been something that was like spur of the moment, I feel like, because he has roommates. So someone couldn't come in, like someone probably wouldn't come into his apartment and try to do something with him because he could make noise and his, roommates could hear. So to me, it would sound like more, and plus, like, who would know that he was getting Uber Eats at 3 or 2 something in the morning, other than maybe he walked out and he saw something he wasn't supposed to see. I know Heaven said in the chat last night, she had a really good point. Maybe he was taking that Snapchat video and he caught something on it that he shouldn't have seen. So, the only thing I can come up with is he saw something out there he wasn't supposed to see. Now, maybe that was, a little bit of a rug deal. I mean, not a little, probably a big one to do that to somebody. I don't know if there are any. I'm sure there's gangs in that area. I mean, it's Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm sure that there are things that are, are not safe down there. But it is sad either way. I mean, I hope that he did. No, I hope that he's out there and he's okay. But it's just like, it's been a month. Like, where do these people go? Yeah, CJK. So the neighbors had camera footage and it showed him like with the dog like coming in with his friends earlier in the night. They took the dog out the first time around like midnight or 1 a.m. I'm sorry. And then it doesn't show him leaving or anything though. Like no one, the officers haven't come out and said like, here's him leaving. So it's just very strange. So I'm going to play this podcast version. I'm going to put up some pictures of Caleb. That way we can get his little face out there. Adorable kid. You can definitely tell he's like a good old country boy. He likes to fish, hunt, play video games with his buddies. I mean, pretty innocent. Really? The neighbor's friend left about the same time? Oh, curious kid. Oh, wow. Design rhythm. That's what I'm wondering too. Like he walked all the way out there barefoot. But I mean, I wouldn't do it. Oh, I can't not stand being barefoot because then you could step with something. Like it's dark out. Like really. And speaking of which, there's no way Sebastian would do that either. There's just no way. I mean, because he was autistic. They have sensory issues. They definitely would think they would be stepping on something. I can't walk barefoot, Olivia. I can't even walk barefoot in my own house. I have to wear little house slippers. He didn't have slippers or socks on, no, now that we know of. So I think there's 2 doors, CJK. There normally has to be 2 doors in every dwelling. Like you have to have like 2 points of exit. So like it's like a fire hazard or something, fire thing. Like we have a balcony and then our front door. So I think they have a back door, but they just took the dog out, I think the front. But he could have walked out the back, maybe that's why he wasn't seen on camera. But I'm going to go ahead and play this. Thank you guys all for being here. Hey, Angela, welcome in. And if I missed you guys, welcome in. I was just looking to see. And I'll be in the chat with you guys. I'm going to put up some pictures of Caleb. That way we can get his face out there. And if you have any questions over this case, let me know. Drop them in the chat. If I don't know them, we'll try to look them up and get you the answer. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you before I do this. Okay. Yep, I already said all that. Okay, cool. Let's play this. His friend left right after they brought the dog in, I believe, the first time, Mel, like around 1 o'clock. Or yeah, I think they took they took the dog out around 1 o'clock, and then his friend left, and then actually I think it was 12 o'clock. I'm sorry. Let me get this right. I want to make sure. That's the day before. Okay, so 12:56 is when the doorbell camera gets, Caleb, his friend, and one of his roommates in the parking lot. At 2:20, the second of Harris's two roommates informs Harris that he's going to bed. And I'm sorry, at 12:56, it captures his friend leaving, I believe. Let me see. And then 2:44, he shares the Snapchat. 3:03, he shares another Snapchat. At 3:12, that's when his cell phone last shared location data with the nearest cell phone tower. And then 3:12 was when the Uber Eats was delivered. And I do have a timeline for this case. I put it on my, we put it up yesterday. We went through it. I just figured we wouldn't go through the same timeline tonight. And we'll add to it as we go. It's loud too, a little bit. So sorry. It might be a little loud.
To Rome to begin a life of service to the church, she encounters a darkness that causes her to question her own faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. The First Omen, rated R, only in theaters Friday. Get tickets now.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. "20 minutes. How can just 20 minutes change your whole life? How does a boy step outside barefoot to get his Uber Eats and he's never seen again?" I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories and on Sirius XM 111. First of all, take a listen to Rachel Bonilla.
When Caleb Harris's roommates begin their day, they open the front door to find the Uber Eats food Caleb had ordered still at the door. The roommates started looking for Harris. At 11 a.m., the roommates file a missing person report with police and notify Texas A&M Corpus Christi campus security as well that Harris is missing. At 3 p.m., parents Randy and Becky Harris are told their son is missing. Randy Harris headed straight for Corpus Christi.
And what does Randy Harris, Caleb's dad, have to say about this? Listen.
This is not normal. This is not, this is a different situation where, you know, Caleb disappeared, vanished. Just so many things that just don't add up, especially at 3 a.m, you know. But he was planning a lot of stuff. It wasn't like he wasn't going anywhere. I mean, he was planning stuff. So that's what is odd about the whole case.
This young A&M student is gone, seemingly vanished into thin air. And we all know something is off. When you order Instacart or Uber or DoorDash, your food doesn't sit on your front porch all night long for your roommates to find it the next morning. There is a critical 20 minutes, critical 20 minutes that this boy scrubbed in sunshine disappeared. With me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. Where is Caleb? Right off the bat, I want to go straight out to Caleb's dad. But first, I want to give you a tip line, 361-886-2840. There is a reward. Repeat, 361-886-2840. And now to Caleb's father, Randy Harris, joining us. Mr. Harris, thank you for being with us. I can't even imagine what you are going through, you and your wife. My son went missing inside a giant Babies R Us warehouse store when he was about 3. And just those moments until I found him, I will never forget it the rest of my life. And you have been living with this since Caleb seemingly disappeared on a foggy night. I want to start at the beginning with you. When did you find out something was wrong?
Well, we text back and forth quite a bit. And so, you know, the next morning, typical Monday morning, maybe he slept in late, whatever, and getting ready for school around 10:30. And so no big deal. And then we got a call from the roommates. They called my wife and she immediately called me. I was working south of town. And so I got down here as quick as I can. And that kind of started everything off with meeting with the police again. They were there within 5 minutes of me arriving, and took the report again and immediately raised it to a missing persons.
How could he just vanish? What do we know? Tell me some more about Caleb. He's a student at A&M. What is he studying? Where does he live? What year is he in school?
2.5 years into school. He's studying environmental science. Definitely just absolutely loves the outdoors, loves fishing, loves hunting, really got into duck hunting the last couple of years, and just loves all the clothes.
I think he wanted to be a game warden.
He's going to get his kayak guide license to be able to help people that buy kayaks that really don't know how to outfit them and what to put on them and what to do. And so he's going to do that, getting ready to go to work in Colorado this summer. Just a lot of stuff. He had texted me that evening, some fishing lures that he's going to use the next day. He's very methodical about species of fish he's going to go fish for. He doesn't just throw a shrimp on a hook. Very, very calculated of what he's going to do. And that was the night before, and he was ready to go the next day, and then he vanished.
To Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky joining us, forensic psychologist, author of Dark Sides. You can find him on YouTube at Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky. Dr. Jeff, thank you for being with us. When someone just seemingly walks away into the fog, we wonder why. That's not what happened here. He didn't just walk away. Think about it, Dr. Jeff. Somebody doesn't order their DoorDash or their Uber Eats and just decide, hey, I'm going to walk out into nowhere. That didn't happen. He was excited about fishing the next morning, about his plans to move to Colorado for a job over the summer. I mean, no sign ever of depression, of any kind of emotional problem, great grades, just living the life, doctor. This guy did not disappear on his own. I would stake everything on it.
Right. In cases like this, a lot of times, right, people wonder about suicide, but it's the idea that you rule a lot of these things out. If there aren't mental health issues, if there aren't a history of significant impulsive behavior, then you wonder about accidents. Those happen too. I've lived in college towns where it seems like the same accidents happen at the same place around these towns. For example, kids falling in the river. So that is a potential option. And then what it would leave after that was the possibility of some type of abduction or kidnapping, unfortunately.
Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky, can I just stop you right there? He did not go out on his little stoop at his apartment where he shared his off-campus apartment with his roommates. He didn't step out there to get his Uber Eats and fall in a river. That did not happen. Okay, I want you to rethink that. Now, I'm certainly no MD, much less a psychologist, but I know that much. When I go out the front door to pick up Uber Eats, I'm not going to fall in a river. An accident. You
got to rule it out. You got to rule it out.
Yeah. Okay, I can rule out suicide, and I can rule out falling in a river. It's out, okay? Let's don't talk about falling in a river again. Hold on. I think it's timeline right. Joining me is Mandy Noel.
Nancy's over the falling in a river. She's like, we've already had one case in the last 2 weeks of somebody falling in the river. Let's, try not to have another one, but could have. I mean, I don't think so, though.
Reporter News 4 San Antonio. Mandy, thank you for being with us. What's your understanding of the timeline? That's what I'm going to be focusing on right now, because that's how you start a missing person or foul play investigation, with your timeline. Did you hear me in the open say I've got a critical 20 minutes? I think that Randy Harris, who's Caleb's dad, knows the 20 minutes I'm talking about. I'm sure you do too, but I want to get all of the facts I can leading me up to those 20 minutes. Hit me.
You are exactly right. And that is a critical 20 minutes. And there's so many questions because, in Police Zone's words, vanished without a trace. It's a strange disappearance. So 1 a.m., and it's before that 20 minutes, Caleb is on a Ring doorbell camera or some surveillance camera with his roommate, a friend, and their new dog. 2 a.m., the roommate goes to sleep on the couch. Caleb, like Mr. Harris mentioned, preparing his fishing reels the next day. It's the last time his roommate saw Caleb. 2:44, and this is where that critical time starts. Caleb sends a Snapchat, walking the new dog. 2:58, His phone turns off or it dies. Pings at his apartment complex. 3:20, that Uber Eats that he ordered, it's seen on the surveillance camera, but the footage, the information with the footage is kind of wonky. They're saying it could be a 1 hour kind of time swing. As you mentioned, the food's found on the doorstep the next morning. But the other thing to point out here, he wasn't planning to go anywhere. He walked outside without his keys, without his wallet, and he walked outside without shoes on. So that time, you're right, it's critical because it's just this small window where he was communicating with friends and family and then nothing.
Let's take a listen to Dave Mack, Crime Online.
Harris and his roommates spend the evening outside in the parking lot with their new dog. It's a little after 1 a.m. when he heads back inside. He sends a Snapchat to his sister at 2:44, and at 2:45, Caleb Harris orders food through Uber Eats. When the Uber Eats driver arrives at 3:20 a.m., Caleb Harris is not in front of his apartment to accept the delivery, so the food is left at the doorstep.
Okay, back to Randy Harris. This is Caleb's father. He is begging for your help. Join us. Help in the search for his boy. Again, the tip line, 361-886-2840. Mr. Harris, can I just run through that timeline again with you? So he's outside. They've got a new puppy. It's 1 a.m. The puppy wants to go outside. They're outside with the puppy to TT in the parking lot. At that they're out there at 2:44. He sends his sister a Snapchat, I guess, with the dog. And there's no question it's 2:44. They're timed. Snapchats are timed. And I might add, they time out once you open them. But I've got 1 more minute, and everybody may scoff,
Some
but
people
minutes
have it saved,
matter.
though.
Minutes matter. Even 1 minute. At 2:45, he orders food through Uber Eats. Is that correct, Mr. Harris?
I really don't have the exact timeline on exactly when he ordered Uber Eats. We do know that the Uber Eats was picked up from the convenience store. 2 Lunchables, a Red Bull, and apple pie. Typical for Caleb. We believe it was delivered around that 3:20 mark because 3:20 mark because it was picked up at the store, like 2:17 or something like that.
Okay, what did he get? 2 Lunchables?
2 Lunchables, apple pie, and Red Bull.
Okay.
That's normal. He would go to school, be done by noon, 1 o'clock, get back to the apartment, either a friend or roommate, and grab their kayaks, and that was their lunch for the afternoon. And, they'd be out till before dark.
Let me fast forward this part.
Hulu and Disney health medication.
Thank you all for being here. Hey, Holly.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace.
And happy Easter,
Joining
everybody.
me now, Assistant Chief Todd Green with the Corpus Christi Police. Assistant Chief Green, can I confirm with you the Uber Eats time? And I know 1 minute may not matter to a lot of people, but if I saw, for instance, just hypothesizing, another car come into the apartment complex at 2:45, that time would matter. 2:46, that time would matter. Can you confirm with me the 2:45 Uber Eats order?
Yes, that's correct. And it arrived. We confirmed that it was delivered at 3:20 in the morning. We identified the driver, a young lady. We interviewed her, and she did not report seeing anything suspicious at the time. There's nothing to make us think that she had anything to do with his disappearance. She did not see Caleb.
You just gave me a lot of information. I know it was a short statement, but that's a lot. Number one, the moment you said a female driver, I can tell you right now, the driver's not responsible. Statistically, a female is much less likely to perform any violent act, period. Not happening. Okay, so she's there at 3:20.
Have you met
and she doesn't even
Arlene?
see Caleb, correct?
That is correct. She did report seeing one other vehicle leaving the parking lot. We believe we have identified the driver of that vehicle and also have eliminated that individual as a suspect.
Okay, right there. Assistant Chief Green, hold on. I don't want you to publicize the name, because then, thousands of angry people would be coming down on that person as if they were the kidnapper. But can you just tell me a little bit, like, why were they leaving the apartment complex at 3:00 in the morning? Did they live there? Were they visiting? Were they leaving for an early morning shift? Why were they leaving?
It was an individual who actually lives in San Antonio, and had come down for the weekend to visit his girlfriend at those apartments. And we're not 100% sure, but the timeline matches very, very closely. So we believe that's the vehicle that she saw. That individual told us the same thing, that he had left the apartments about 3:30 in the morning.
And he didn't see anything?
No, he did not. He saw a vehicle coming into the apartment complex, which we believe is the Uber Eats delivery person.
Gosh, this just keeps getting more and more odd. Okay, that story makes perfect sense to me. And if he's leaving his girlfriend's apartment after visiting the weekend, he's got to leave at 3:30 in the morning to get back to San Antonio on time for a job. It's highly unlikely a guy is going to leave his girlfriend asleep in bed, taking off for a job, and suddenly decides, oh, there's a guy I don't know. I think I'll kidnap him. That didn't happen. Okay, he's out. Let's pick back up where we are. Guys, take a listen to this.
We know his phone pinged at a little after 3, but we're not sure exactly where he was or if he had contacted anybody with that ping.
Phone actually quit working at 2:58.
Okay, let me follow up on that. We all are familiar by now with the Brian Kohberger investigation. Can I tell you what launches a timeline? The fact that one of the young ladies inside that home on King Road ordered, I believe it was a DoorDash. So we know she's alive and well. I think she got the DoorDash at that time. It's like looking at your watch. All of this is digitized by time, location, all of that. You can count on it. And here we're getting the same thing, just like this ping. Now, I want to circle back to Randy Harris. This is Caleb's dad. And for everybody on the panel, let me remind you, we're not having high tea at Windsor Castle with Charles and Camilla. If you have an idea, spit it out. Now is the time. Mr. Harris, I want to talk about what you...
So now not only does she say this ain't, tea at Windsor Castle, but she says with Camilla. Oh, man, she's putting the names in there.
About the ping. Oh, gosh. So we're getting a ping at 3 a.m., but you're not sure, as you and your wife are saying, where he was at the time of the ping. The phone quit working at 2:58. Did he turn it off? Did it run out of juice? What happened?
We really don't know that for sure. His phone, because he's out all the time, the phone does go dead pretty quickly because he's just using it all the time. The ping was at 3:03. It was a Snapchat picture, I believe, to one of his friends, and it was on the bridge. But again, the timeline doesn't quite add up. They were able to get, from what I understand, through AT&T, an additional ping around 3:12 down the street. So again, the phone was off or turned off, but there was some other activity, and it may have been an IP ping or a VPN ping. I really don't know.
Okay, let's make sense of what we're hearing right now. And remember, Caleb's dad has been sifting through all the facts. He's throwing out some jargon not everybody's used to, but luckily for us, Todd Shipley is joining us, digital cybercrime expert, former detective sergeant, and author of, listen to this, Investigating Internet Crimes, an Introduction to Solving Crimes in Cyberspace. And you can find him at darkintel.info. Todd Shipley, we need you now more than ever. Because I've been investigating Caleb's disappearance, I understood what Randy Harris just said, but a lot of people may not. Explain what he's saying, because I'm not quite sure I understand how he is ordering Uber, and that's at 2:45, and then his phone is pinging down the street at 3:12. Did the phone have to move? Oh, Randy, has the phone been recovered?
No, it has not. We've done a tremendous amount of searches right off the bat, and the police were there with cadets and with search and rescue, and lots of search and rescue people from San Antonio. And that was one of the biggest focuses is, obviously finding Caleb, but trying to find that phone. Even yesterday, we had the search and rescue team out of San Antonio, literally in sewer drains with cameras and ladders looking for the phone just to try again.
Can I jump in, Nancy?
Yes.
That information that we had originally came in on an emergency request through AT&T because it was a potentially endangered missing person. That data that we're getting right now, we're sharing that with two of our federal partners, the U.S. Marshals Service and the FBI, as well as our local team, our local our organized crime unit, which has the resources to go through all this digital data. And the bottom line is, at this point, we don't believe that is an accurate ping. We are working on the theory that he never left, or his phone last was located right there on the street, right in front of the apartments, right near the bridge over the drainage ditch, where he sent that Snapchat photo at about 3:03 in the morning. So right now we're working off that. We don't believe that he ever traveled over to Rod Field, which is about a mile away.
Okay, so right there, the officers, the investigators, they said that he didn't travel. So a lot of people are thinking, and that's why I had it marked on here. I was moving the mouse around though a second ago. Okay, so Caleb's phone pings up here. But he lives all the way down here. So a lot of people were like, did someone take his phone? And that's why it pinged up there and all that. But I figured it was just the last cell phone tower that could grab his signal. And so what they're saying is that it was around his apartment is when his phone last pinged. So it wasn't, I thought I was sharing that with you guys. I am, but I had the banner up. Sorry about that, guys. Let me make this a little easier on us. I don't know why it's like down so low, but you can see over here where he lives. This is where his phone pinged. Caleb's phone last pinged, but he really was his phone really pinged near his house. That's just the closest cell phone tower to his house. So I'm going to go back like 30 seconds so we can hear him because I wanted to see what his exact words were. Let me put the picture back up.
Street right in front of the apartments, right near the bridge over the drainage ditch, where he sent that Snapchat photo at about 3:03 in the morning. So right now we're working off that. We don't believe that he ever traveled over to Rod Field, which is about a mile away, a little over a mile.
Okay, let me decipher what you just said. You think the 312 ping down the street is erroneous?
That's our working theory right now. That data, it was preliminary data that came in very quickly. It appeared to show him over there in that area, but at this point, we don't have a high level of confidence that that's accurate.
Okay, so can you tell me this? Do you think it's wrong, or you just don't know?
At this point, we feel like it's not accurate.
Wrong. Okay. That's really important. Thank you for telling me that before I go down a rabbit hole with a cyber expert. Is that you, Todd Shipley, jumping in?
Yeah.
Go.
It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that the phone found, when it was looking for cell towers, a cell tower to talk to, and so it could have been a mile away. The chief is right. They're looking through a whole bunch of other data that we don't have yet, which would have been the things that, we would all start to look at, which is the cell tower data and trying to figure out where things were. But, trying to geolocate somebody with just one ping is not, necessarily possible or accurate. And the chief is correct. Mm-hmm. So they're looking at the larger set of data that they've got from the cell towers, trying to figure out what other cell phones were there. Who else could have been there pinging those towers at the same time? So there's a lot of data that they're trying to walk through and understand, because those cell towers collect a tremendous amount of data.
Okay, one thing you just said, Todd Shipley, that I just want to follow up on, when you said the cell phone was trying to find a tower, quote, to talk to. In other words, the cell phone is trying to find a tower to get a connection. Yep. And it could be 30 feet away. It could be a mile away. So it's pinging all around, and that's the cell phone trying to get a cell from one of the towers. I hear somebody jumping.
That actually happened to me when I moved to this really small town. It was, it had 3,000, I think, people there that lived in the whole town. But I had Sprint at the time, which they're now T-Mobile, but I had Sprint as my carrier. And for some reason, I just wasn't getting service. I was getting zero service and it was terrible. So I finally called into Sprint, which I called them a million times. And they told me that there was a cell phone tower half a mile from me was the closest one. And it was performing at a 98 percentile, which means like it's working really well. But I can never get service. So I guess, it could be a mile away. Since I've experienced it, a half a mile away. I just thought of that. Thought I'd share.
Yeah, go ahead, please do.
It was me, Mr. Harris. I want to really explain something too. The police have done a phenomenal job in this case. I mean, these guys are amazing and not questioning anything that they've done at all. We're outside the bubble. We're looking at all different kinds of things, and those were areas where we went with bloodhounds, we went with the police, and so we're interpolating and just suspecting along with everybody else. So, and we certainly understand those cell tower images could be even a mile from that location. It was just kind of a hot spot, and so I really want to stress how happy we are with what the police and the other authorities are doing, because they really are they're just killing it out there. They're doing a good job, and I want to make sure that we're backing them 100%.
Absolutely, because you know what, Mr. Harris, usually when a cop makes a headline, it's because he did something wrong, right? Nobody ever says, like, do you call your cable company and go, you know what, I watched the end of a miniseries last night and you did a great job, making my TV work. No, you call and go, the cable's out, fix it. So nobody ever comments on how awesome LA law enforcement is. And I really appreciate you saying that, because it's so rare that we get to hear that.
That's very rare.
Okay, so everything we know about part of the timeline is now upended. And that's a good thing, because that helps me refine the timeline. I got a question. The Snapchat that Caleb sent to his sister, I assume, with the new dog, where was he when he sent the Snapchat? Can you see in the background where he was?
Yes, it appears he was walking through the parking lot of the apartment complex. It's actually a short Snapchat video, and it appears he's in the complex at 2:44 when he's walking the dog. But then at 3:03, he's actually just outside the apartment complex on the main street that runs right by the complex. And there's a small bridge that goes over a drainage ditch.
Okay, I want to be clear about the bridge, because a lot of people are like, oh, did he fall in some deep water? That's not what that bridge is it?
Well, it's a drainage ditch.
He could have hit his head, though, but they would have found him.
It certainly could be a drowning potential. But at the time of his disappearance, there was only less than in that area, was less than a foot of water in it. And we searched it thoroughly with our dive team. Texas Search and Rescue brought in their canines. We swept it again with the canines. It was swept again with the bloodhounds from the Department of Corrections, brought their canines in. So it's been thoroughly searched, and no sign of Caleb or the cell phone.
Randy Harris, I feel very strongly he did not go to that bridge and fall into the 1 foot of water. That's not what happened.
I agree.
So the Snapchat to his sister, and for those of you that don't know about Snapchat, it's not like you're texting a message. It's a picture. It's a snap. And it's supposed to, I guess, in the moment, in real time, send a picture of what you're doing that expresses what you're doing at that moment. And it's the big way of communication right now amongst preteens, teens, and students. So again, where was he, Randy, when he sent the snap to his sister?
From what I understand, right there with the sister, it looked like he was just in the parking lot with taking the dog for a walk.
Okay, and that was just before 3 a.m. Okay, guys, take a listen now to more of what we know regarding the timeline. Here's Jackie Howard.
The timeline for Caleb Harris is traceable up until 2:58 a.m. Caleb Harris is on security cameras, Ring doorbell cameras around his apartment, and is on his phone, which is pinging at his apartment. According to the investigators at 2:58, Harris is at his apartment when his cell phone battery dies or is turned off. The Uber Eats driver arrives at 3:20 a.m. and Caleb Harris is not there to get the food. 2:58 a.m. to 3:20 a.m., a 22-minute window of opportunity. And in the foggy early morning hours of Monday, March 4, 21-year-old Caleb Harris vanished.
Todd Shipley joining us, digital cybercrime expert.
Look at that camera.
darkintel.info. Todd, I mean,
we've been looking at this picture for a while and I didn't even realize it. Now that is a police camera. That ain't no cell phone where you see so many police. I mean, they have good cell phones out now to take awesome pictures, but look at that. He ain't messing around. I like that. Good thing for Texas.
When I look at my Life 360, it tells me my son's phone is at 10% or my daughter's phone is turned off. So we can't tell if his phone died or whether it was cut off.
Well, I don't know who else was connected with Caleb and whether the family had something like 360, which is a great app for families. But at this point in time, they know what they know, which is the phone went dead because AT&T has those records and the phone stopped
wrong on the banner.
So it's, they've got a limited amount. We don't have, like we normally have in these cases, a consistent pattern of phone contacting the towers and letting them know where they're at. In this case, it stopped. So we have to work back from that time and try to figure out what was going on the phone before that to see if there's anything that's of relevance to the case and who he contacted, who the messaging was to. You know, there's a lot of things that the phone will tell us that AT&T may have already given law enforcement, but they're looking for all those things, trying to identify any source of what happened.
So Assistant Chief Todd Green with us, Corpus Christi Police. Again, thank you for being with us, Chief. Now the water is getting muddy for me. Mm-hmm. And I know that you and Randy Harris and Mandy Noel can clear it up. Was he near that bridge that night?
Yes, we certainly believe that based on the Snapchat photo he sent to one of his high school friends at 3:03 in the morning.
So we have another entry into the timeline. He sends a Snapchat to a friend at 3:03 a.m. and he's at the bridge.
Correct. We're very confident that he was there at the bridge in front of the apartment complex.
And I'm wondering what made him. It was a friend, I believe, from high school. Now I don't know if they're very close, but from all accounts, it didn't seem like it was a close friend. You know what? Like they haven't said though, so maybe. But I'm wondering if this wasn't a close friend of his. Maybe he sent the snap to the first person he could click on in his Snapchat feed. Because in order to send a Snapchat, we were talking about this last night, you have to go into the app. You have to, let me go ahead and just go into my app so I don't mess any of the steps, because it's a lot of steps. You have to go into the app, take the picture. After you take the picture, you have to hit the send to button, and then it'll drop you down a whole list of names that you are friends with on your Snapchat. So you can add it to your story or you can send it to another person, but you have to go and click on their name, physically click on it, and then hit the send button on a separate page. So it's like a 4 or 5 step process in order to send that. No design rhythm. The dog was put back. So the dog came back in and then he went back out for some reason. And it was way before the DoorDash got there, it seems like. Well, we don't really know exactly, but we know it was before 3:20, and he made the DoorDash order. Well, he shared everything at 2:44 and then at 3:03, the Snapchat. So he was okay at 3:03, but he was gone by 3:20 when the food got there. Now we're assuming that because she said it was one of those drop at the door and leave. So
when we're talking about the bridge, it's kind of really only a bridge to fall off on one side. That didn't happen. That's where he is, out walking the dog. Where is the dog, Randy Harris?
At that point, the dog was back in the apartment.
So he must have gone out to get the food. Okay, so he's alive and well, sending a Snapchat right there at 3:03 a.m. The Uber Eats driver arrives at 3:20 a.m. So we're now down to a 17-minute period.
That's
Randy
insane.
Harris, the bridge that we're seeing, is it adjacent or part of the parking lot?
No, it's literally right at the corner of the complex. And I was going to add, when the phone went dead at 2:58, it went dead across the board. Snapchat, I have Find Friends, and I also have Find Utilities, so I can look at both of those and see, and both of the timelines were identical at 2:58. And then everybody else's Snapchat also located him at 2:58, right there at the corner of the complex or on the bridge right there.
Okay, I've got a question for you. If his phone goes dead at 2:58, how does he send a snap at 3:03?
That's for the forensics to figure that out. We can't. That's a timeline thing that it's an anomaly because Snapchat, from what I understand, is immediate, and we've got a few minutes there. So again, is that a cell tower issue? Is it a AT&T issue? Is it a delay with Snapchat? We really don't know it. We feel like he may have done that, before the phone went dead, but we can't confirm.
Oh, okay. You mean like suddenly I get a message that somebody sent yesterday?
No, I don't think it would be like that. No.
Okay, Todd Shipley, what?
Yeah, no, that doesn't work like that. He would have to send the snap unless the other person's phone was dead. And then that person wouldn't get it, but it would still show the time that the picture was taken up in the corner of the picture.
Could it be?
So I don't think that could be that.
Because
personally.
The reason I'm interested is because he's on this bridge. He's at this bridge. Is that the last known communication with him at that location, not standing out in front of his apartment? So can you explain why he may have sent it at 2:58 and then it arrived at 3:03?
Sure. I mean, there could have been a lot of reasons technology-wise that it could have occurred. Snapchat is a great little tool, but it still uses a centralized server system where it's got to go to one place and be sent back to whoever the sender is sending it to. So it could have been AT&T. He could have been in a dead spot that it didn't get picked up right away, and it took a minute to send. Technologically, there's a lot of reasons why it could have been a delayed send. Even if the phone had died, minutes before, he could have sent it, and it just didn't show up till a later point in time.
Okay, so we're going to do this right now. I never take I do take Snapchats, but I don't. So taking a picture of myself. Oh, wow, that's not a good picture. Let me see if I save it, if it'll tell me what the time. Actually, let me smile in the picture because I'm going to send this to Vincent. And he's going to be like, what is she on? Because I look crazy. So if I send it to him, It says today, 10:49 p.m. and it says delivered, but that doesn't mean that he got it. He hasn't gotten it yet, and it'll show you when they've received it. So there shouldn't be any discrepancies there.
So that's not unusual. All right.
Well, that doesn't totally explain it, but I mean the point is it could have happened, or he could have sent it at that time. We just don't have enough facts and evidence right now to know. Without having the phone, we don't know for sure.
Well, to Assistant Chief Todd Green, do we know if the Snapchat was sent at that time at 3:03? Did the phone die or get turned off at 2:58? Do you have any idea where the phone was whether it was turned off or it just went dead? If it went dead, why didn't he go in and plug it up? I mean, what do you think, Chief?
Well, we're still looking at that, and we're puzzled by the timeline as well, as Mr. Snyder said, and we're considering the options that he mentioned, that he may have sent the Snapchat before the phone went silent. We try not to say dead. We don't know if the device was turned off.
If he sent it before the phone went dead, it would send through. I mean, even if you're in a bad spot, I would think it would send through. And you shouldn't be in a bad spot if you're a mile from the cell phone tower. If you're able to send a Snapchat to your sister just fine with a picture of the dog, if they can match that timing up good, then this should be just as good.
Or if it just ran out of power, I don't think we'll be able to determine that until we actually are able to look at the device itself.
Select Hulu content available
to 7 right now.
Or ask your clinic.
But what do we know, Caleb Harris?
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace.
The mystery is deepening as parents of a missing Texas A&M student, Caleb Harris, reveal he seemingly vanishes after going out to pick up his Uber Eats order. We are following every piece of digital evidence that we can. But what do we know regarding anything his roommate may have said? To Caleb's dad, Randy Harris, what does the roommate say?
Their hearts are broken. I mean, truly, these are kids that have grown up with Caleb since first grade, fourth grade.
Yeah, they all went to school
live
together.
in the same apartment complex, live across the street, and live with him. One of the roommates is graduating with a nursing degree, will be moving out, and they've already signed a lease with actually the boy in the video there, the third boy in the red or maroon shirt. He'll be joining them this fall as an additional roommate, which again is another friend from New Braunfels. The friend group out of the New Braunfels area is really tight. About 7 or 8 kids down there from the school that they graduated with, and one of his roommates he's been with since fourth grade football. All these kids are very, very tight because we went to a small Christian school there in New Braunfels. So their graduating class was 40 kids. So it was a very close knit. A lot of these kids are like brothers and sisters.
The apartment, I understand Chief Todd Green, was carefully searched. I assume his vehicle was searched. Was it still parked there, Chief Green?
Yes, that was one of the things we did early on in the search, try to determine if he willingly left the complex. Why would he do that on such a foggy evening on foot? And it didn't make sense to us. We checked the vehicle just to make sure that it was operational, that it had fuel. It did. So that certainly added to the question of why would he be going anywhere on foot at that time of night. In those conditions, as we mentioned, it was extremely foggy that night, which has also complicated the investigation. Surveillance video that we have recovered is not at the quality that we would normally expect, but the fog certainly made it much more difficult to see things.
And I assume that all of his social media has been combed?
We are in the process of doing that, yes. It's time consuming. We've issued over our
I bet you had so many friends.
Team here, our team has issued 16 search warrants for electronic search warrants for data. U.S. Marshals, who's working right alongside of us, have issued 7 search warrants. The FBI has helped us out by accessing financial data. So we're looking at it from every possible angle. And one of the things that's probably a little unique in this situation is that when the data comes in, we're not analyzing it just by ourselves here within our department. We're immediately sharing it with the marshals, the FBI. We're constantly meeting with the Texas Rangers. We're sharing data with them. So when the data comes in, everybody is looking at it, analyzing it, and providing us with any kind of leads that they believe we should follow up on. We have a really good team here, a forensic cyber team here, but we're also reaching out and using our federal partners, federal and state partners.
Randy Harris, was Caleb, to your knowledge, in a relationship with anyone?
No, his focus was, on his school, hunting, fishing, playing video games with his roommates, pretty much a homebody and very consistent. He's had a couple of girlfriends, but nothing out of the ordinary for a college student.
Yeah. I'm trying to piece it all together, guys. Listen to this.
What we do now is continue keeping Caleb in the light. I mean, keeping him, he's out there. We feel like he's out there and we're going to get him back. We just got to find him.
I'm curious, what is your theory, Randy?
That's a hard one to answer because, because we don't have a true north in this case, and we don't know really what has happened, and there's no the evidence and everything that they're gathering. I strongly feel like the authorities are finding true north. For us, we really don't know. With his keys were there, his wallet's there, his truck's there, his shoes are there. The only thing missing is his cell phone. He was barefooted and he vanished. So we really don't know whether he came upon something that he shouldn't have seen, or he's the kind of kid that would go out and help somebody change a tire. So, we just don't know.
I just don't understand. Yes, please do.
So one thing that I thought about this, if we're working on the theory that this was an abduction, a couple of things that I'm sure law enforcement is looking into. The first thing is there are random abductions of people. That happens. But a lot of times when an adult is abducted, they're abducted by someone who's had contact with them or knows them. I've seen and been involved in cases like that. So I'm sure that law enforcement is combing through this young man's text to see who he was talking to, obviously through the social media. But are there people that he had contact with that other people didn't know about? I mean, all these theories, I think, are probably under investigation and also giving this kind of a national voice. Are there people who aren't in that local area who had contact with him through social media or texting or emails or things like that, that could maybe help provide other information to look at other potential people that could have been involved in him that maybe no one knew about?
You know what? You're right, Dr. Jeff. Guys, you're hearing Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky joining us, author of Dark Sides. A random kidnapping is rare. And when you say someone that knew him, we mean that in the loose sense of the word. Someone that had been in a class with him, somebody that was a checkout person at the grocery store, somebody that had connected with him online, maybe in a gaming room. Most of the games that people play, they're not playing by themselves. They're playing with somebody in cyberspace, a real person out there somewhere. It could be any of these people. I don't mean their best friend or their roommate or their girlfriend that really know them. It's more that someone could know of them. You're absolutely right, Dr. Jeff. And the scary part of that is you don't know who they are. They may not even be using their real name. Randy Harris, did he play online? You mentioned games. I mean, my son loves them. Did Caleb?
Yeah, actually that night, one of his best friends that lives in Colorado. And I wanted to correct you. He's got a job in Alaska, not Colorado.
So thank you.
That's pretty exciting, for him coming up this summer. And anyway, but he was on the phone because I immediately got the phone records from AT&T, just like anybody else could do. And so I started looking at all the phone numbers and the texts and going, who do I see on here that doesn't make sense, or I don't know, or I'd punch them into my phone because I do know a lot of his friends. And this particular friend's actually in Colorado Springs going to school, and they had been on the phone playing video games, but without headsets. They normally would just call each other. So he was on the phone with him for 71 minutes earlier that evening, like at 10 o'clock.
Caleb Harris missing. This kid is scrubbed in sunshine. There's just no other way to put it. And Mr. Harris, I just don't know how you are getting up and putting one foot in front of the other. How are you and Caleb's mom managing?
It's hard, but we're also a family of faith, and we love the Lord Jesus Christ, and we, that's where our strength comes from. I cry a lot, but my wife is my rock. My daughter is my rock. My in-laws, my family, the church, the people in New Braunfels, the people in Corpus, just an immense amount of strength. I mean, just to have somebody donate a helicopter yesterday and today to just go search and make sure that we're covering every inch of Corpus Christi we possibly can, in the hopes of really not finding him. That's what we're doing. We're just making sure that we're doing our part to aid in the investigation. And we have so many people that have offered boats, so many people offered food. We've got volunteer search people. We have friends that we've known, for as long as our entire lives, that are just involved heavily in supporting us. And, we feel the love. We feel the love of Christ just radiating and, giving us the adrenaline really just to keep going. But my wife, she's my rock, and she's just been super strong. And my daughter is she's amazing. Her birthday was Thursday, 17.
I just, what? So often,
She probably didn't even want to celebrate.
I've prosecuted and investigated and covered so many cases.
Oh yes, he's your new
At
place.
first, we keep saying it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because as you've read in the Bible, we see through a glass darkly.
Oh, I love Nancy for having that.
Clearly, we can't put those pieces of the puzzle together. We're missing something. Have you guys been able to amass Ring cam, any kind of cam from neighbors?
Yes, the police have done a great job of that as well, and we've been assisting them. We're still doing that today, just going back and double checking, make sure that we haven't missed any surveillance cameras or Ring cameras. Those are critical. The 1 o'clock image that you've been showing, that was a Ring camera from 3 or 4 houses or apartment complexes, not complexes, but little duplex things down the road. So yes, we highly encourage if everybody get out and look at their cameras and take 5 minutes. That's all it takes. And I also encourage, because we're finding cameras that delete everything in 3 days. So, change your settings to 60 days. So for future, surveillance. So you got it.
Guys, there is a $25,000 reward. $25,000. If you know, or you think you know anything about Caleb Harris, please contact 361-826-2950. 361-826-2950. Our prayers, our energy, and our efforts go on. Help us bring Caleb home. Goodbye, friend.
Goodbye, friend. Let me get the band or the overlay down. Get me back up here. So I was going to see what was new. If there is anything new. Not so far. That's really sad. Like a lot of these are like, there's another Caleb Harris. I think basketball player. I don't know what he does. Singer, something, songwriter. But I feel like he like, I don't know, this person's kind of like taking over this other Caleb's, like he's getting kind of pushed down in the algorithm. So make sure you guys, if you guys don't mind, like this video so we can really get it out there. Because the only people that are really talking about this case, doesn't seem like a whole lot of people are, in my opinion. So if we can get his name out there, that'd be great. Also, I want to go back over the Preston Lord case. I started digging through that today, and y'all, it's going to take us a minute to get through it. I'm trying to find the documents right now, so I might have to put a FOIA request in. I can't find them anywhere. So if anyone's like cruising online and they come across Preston Lord's 1,000 page document drop, let me know. It is 1,000 pages. I do have all of the 911 calls, and if I need to, I could FOIA request them in, but if they're out there online and we can get them faster, then that would be great too. Let me see if it's all Nancy. And then just about the timeline with Jennifer Coffinduffer. It's storming bad. Guess people were just wanting a timeline. Yeah, there's nothing, man. I was trying to find something. I was hoping we'd find something like good. But yeah, Nancy is a woman of faith. She definitely is. Her mom, Nancy had a video of her mom today. She used to play the organ, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like whether you're religious or you're not religious, her mom lives with her now. She's pretty old. And I think Nancy takes care of her. That's why she moved in with her. She moved in not too long ago, but I think within the last year, I'd say. And Nancy took a video of her, and she's sitting by her grandson, Nancy's son, and she's like has her hands like on her lap, but she's like playing the organ right along with the lady. Like she's playing the keys, the right keys, and her hands are so cute because they're like little old lady hands, and she's just like doing this like different notes. I thought it was really adorable. I was like, that's cute. So that Nancy got like that on video because that's something that she will always have. Really, T. Salas, you're 62? I didn't think that you were 62. Wow, I didn't know that. Which, I mean, 62 ain't nothing. 62 ain't nothing. I can't believe how bad it's raining out there. So I think they already answered Texas. Yeah, Corpus Christi. And if someone said something about Alaska earlier, maybe you're thinking of Sebastian's case, because I saw like JLR put something about the Chris Proudfoot's mom and dad drove to Alaska. And in order to drive to Alaska, you have to go through Canada. And you'd have to use a passport. I don't know. I wonder if they have a passport. 65, 44, 69. Oh, Linda. Mary Beth and Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher, you're 65? No way. I didn't think that. I didn't think that you were 65. And Linda don't got a picture. She hides. Mary Beth, I knew you were around my age or a little bit older because you said you had, I think, 5 kids. Hello, I cannot pronounce your name at all. But I do love the Dave Chappelle reference there. That's what it looks like anyway. He actually lives a couple exits away from me. The 60s are more like 50 nowadays. No, they really are. They really are. I mean, I remember being like in my early 20s and I thought 40 was kind of old. Like, I'm not going to lie. And now that I'm 38, I'm like, shoot, like 70 ain't old at all. Makes you think. You're 39, so you're a year older than me. Close in age. That's awesome. And look at us. We don't care about telling people our age. Age is really just a number. It really is. It depends on how you feel. Speaking of which, I need to start working out again. I feel like I need a good stretch. I'm the same age as Benjamin Button. I would love that if we went backwards. My 49s were my best years. 40s, they were your best years. Well, then I'm looking forward to them. I'm looking forward to it. I can't believe this year I'll be 39. It's so, I don't know. You know, it's just weird to say it. It's just different. Vincent's 30. How old is he? 35? I think he's 36. 35. He's 35 because his is in December. My birthday's in October. So I'm a little bit older than him. Just a little bit. But he's like, I'm like, I want to say I'm 35. Can we go back to that? Yes, T. Salas, absolutely. She said, I'm blessed to be this age. Some people don't make it that long. Very, very much so. My mom was 62 when she passed. My dad was 47. Too young. I know I'm a cougar. I am. I like the young ones, you know. I've always dated, I think, a little bit younger guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. Normally they're not, you know, they're less mature. But Vincent, he got the mature bug. I think what it is like he's just so chilled and relaxed. It's just like, I love that. I love that for me because I'm the opposite. Oh, you meant sick? Your hair's falling out? Oh, no. I'm so sorry to hear that. Angela, oh. Really, Ladybug? Your dad was 47 too? Too young? That's too young. Now that I'm like, okay, so especially now that my brother, I don't know if he turned 46 or 47 March. I'm hoping 46 because if I hear 47 this year, I'll probably break down. But I know that we're 9 years apart, so I'm thinking he's 47. And I cannot believe that my brother is the same age as my father when my father died. My dad was young. I mean, he acted young, but it's just different when it just hits different. Like when you're like picturing your brother getting, you know, I mean, being the same age as your dad, like, because we're half brother and sister. So that's why I'm saying my dad. But my dad raised him since he was 2. So T. Salas. I know. I think I've always dated younger guys too. I think I have. They were all not very mature, except for Vincent. He's a pretty good guy. So grateful you can do things that you enjoy. Yes, Linda. That's the most important thing too. You know, hey, Manny B. It really is. It really, really is. I know Vincent's mom. She's in her 70s, I believe, early 70s, I think. She works out. He told me one day she was going to Zumba, and she lives in California, and she lives in a beautiful spot in like the hills there, and it's a beautiful spot. And I guess they go to a park like nearby or something, and they'll do Zumba, and I'm like, that's exciting, like that she's still able to, you know. Vincent's dad passed a few years ago, and so it's great to see her compared to my mother. My mother fell apart. She couldn't even say my dad's name for the first 6 years without crying. It was real bad. And then, you know, with his mom, she's out doing, she knows her husband would have wanted her to live like, you know what I mean? Just like still live. So I think it's very amazing. It's amazing to see the two different perspectives. But she makes me want to be a stronger person. Your nanny passed on her 60th on her birthday. Oh, I've been 29 for a while now. I'm going to go backwards too. Best believe. I don't think that I look, I mean, not like there's a certain age to look, but I definitely, I think they say it usually happens to women in their 40s. They look in the mirror one day and they don't see themselves. They like, whoa, that I'm there. I'm living that. I look like my mother, which is fine. I love my mother. She's a beautiful woman, but I'm just like, I look like her. Definitely do. But thank you guys all for being here tonight. I truly appreciate you guys so much. If you guys don't mind just hitting the like button on the way out, doing all the fun things. I'll be back on tomorrow. It's April Fool's Day tomorrow. So don't y'all go fooling me. Don't you dare go fooling me. I'm going to think of something to do to Vincent. It'll be fun. He loves that kind of stuff. He loves to be tortured by me. But like I said, there's nothing really new on that. Now, there is a couple things on Elijah Vu's case that we're going to go over in the next couple of days. there's just a couple new updates. So I wanted to go over those, and they're pretty interesting because no one's really talking about his case anymore. Like, everybody's moved on to Sebastian, and it seems like that's it. They're only covering Sebastian's case. It's like, man, we gotta break it up a little bit around here. So I'm not sure what case we'll do tomorrow, but we'll figure that out. But thank you guys all for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I'm trying to take the banner off there. But yeah, if you guys have any information, actually, let me leave the banner up. He's 5'11". He is 180. He has brown hair, brown eyes. If you know his whereabouts, call Corpus Christi Police Department 361-886-2840, or just call Crime Stoppers. And you can probably even email the Corpus Christi Police at this point. So they'll take anything that you can give them. Thank you guys for being here, though, tonight. I appreciate it so much. Happy Easter. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. But you got about another 45 minutes of it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday tomorrow. I will see you guys all tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, but if not tomorrow evening, if not both. I will see you guys all tomorrow, and have a good day. Bye, guys.